Hey everyone, ready to dive into something really cool. We're going to be taking a look at the future of marketing, but I'm not talking about like the usual, little trends and stuff like that. We're talking about like a total reimagining of how it all works.
Yeah, and it's really remarkable because this vision comes straight from a real leader in the AI world, Srinidhi Ranganathan.
Oh yeah, the human AI, right?
Exactly, and for good reason, This is someone who's leading millions of AI systems, so talk about, being right there on the cutting edge of the revolution.
Totally. So in his latest article, he kind of drops this mind-blowing concept called the tree of mirrors. Like he's peering into the future and seeing things most of us can barely even grasp.
Yeah.
So let's unpack this tree of mirrors. What is it? From what I got, it's all about AI mirroring human behavior, but like on a scale we haven't even begun to imagine.
Yeah, precisely. Ranganathan uses this really powerful analogy of a crystal ball, but instead of like magic, this one is powered by massive amounts of data.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Just like data is the fuel.
Data is the fuel.
Got it. That whole infinite reflections idea really stuck with me. It does feel like we're talking about a whole new level of understanding. Almost like AI is taking on this entirely new role.
Yeah, and that's what's so groundbreaking about it. It's not just about seeing what people are doing, it's about understanding why they're doing it. And that's where the tree of mirrors goes way beyond anything we've seen before. Current marketing is all about targeting you based on what you've already done right. This is about anticipating what you might do next.
Oh, okay. So it's not just knowing you bought a certain brand of coffee, but understanding why you chose that brand and what might tempt you to switch brands.
Yeah, you got it. It's like Ranganathan is saying we can do better than just reacting to past behavior. Let's use AI to understand people on a much deeper level, to predict their needs and desires before they even know them themselves.
Wow, okay. Now that's where it starts to feel a little bit like science fiction. Can AI really get that good at understanding us?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? But Ranganathan seems to think so, and he backs it up with some pretty compelling arguments. He points out that the kind of data we're generating these days goes way beyond just our online activity. Think about biometrics, things like heart rate, facial expressions, even sleep patterns.
Wait, you're telling me my smartwatch could be feeding data into some marketing AI? That feels a little intrusive, doesn't it?
It's definitely a big step, and Ranganathan doesn't shy away from the ethical considerations, but he also argues that if we can harness this data responsibly, the potential benefits are enormous.
Okay.
Imagine ads that adapt to your mood in real time.
Okay, you're losing me a little there. What would that even look like?
So think about it. You're having a stressful day, feeling overwhelmed, and suddenly, instead of being bombarded with ads for, high energy products or whatever, you start seeing calming, soothing messages. It's about tailoring the entire marketing experience to the individual, making it less intrusive and more relevant.
I see what you mean. But isn't that just the tip of the iceberg? I mean, the article talks about AI crafting entire experiences, not just ads.
Right. This is where it gets really fascinating. Ranganathan envisions a world where every touch point with a brand, every interaction is completely personalized.
Wow.
It's like having a personal shopper, a concierge, and a therapist all rolled into one, powered by AI.
That's quite the image. But it does make you wonder, though, how much personalization is too much? Where's the line between helpful and just plain creepy?
That's a great question, and one that Ranganathan doesn't shy away from. He acknowledges the potential for misuse and emphasizes the need for transparency and ethical considerations.
Well, I'm glad he's thinking about that side of things. But I have to admit, the more we talk about this tree of mirrors, the more I'm starting to see the possibilities. Like Ranganathan is opening our eyes to a whole new world.
He really is a visionary, isn't he? And the best part is he's not just predicting the future, he's actively working to build it. One of the things that really struck me about all this is that it's not just about selling more stuff. Yeah.
Ranganathan sees this technology having a much wider impact. Like it could really touch fields like healthcare, education, even entertainment.
Yeah, that's right. He goes way beyond the usual marketing talk. It's like he sees this tree of mirrors as a tool for improving our lives in all sorts of ways.
Exactly. Like he talks about how AI could create personalized learning experiences that are tailored to each student's needs and interests.
Right.
Imagine a world where everyone have access to the education that's best suited for them, regardless of like their background or learning style.
That would be incredible. You could say goodbye to that whole one-size-fits-all approach that so many of us struggled with.
Right. And in healthcare, Ranganathan sees AI playing a crucial role in preventative care and wellness. Imagine a future where your doctor has access to real-time data about your health and habits, allowing them to make more informed decisions about your care.
Now, that's what I call personalized medicine. It feels like we're on the verge of a revolution in healthcare, and AI is right at the center of it. It really is a powerful vision, and it's one that Ranganathan presents with such genuine enthusiasm. You can really feel his passion for using technology to make a positive impact on the world.
It's inspiring, isn't it? He's not just talking about making more money or selling more products. He's talking about improving people's lives in a meaningful way.
Absolutely. And you know what really impressed me is that even with all this talk about high-tech AI and data analysis, he never loses sight of the human element.
Yeah.
In fact, he argues that storytelling will become even more important in this future he envisions.
Well, that's interesting. I wouldn't have expected storytelling to play such a big role in a world dominated by algorithms and data points. Why does he think that?
Well, he makes the point that even with all the insights AI can provide, it's ultimately up to humans to craft narratives that resonate with people on an emotional level.
Okay.
He sees AI as a tool to enhance our creativity, not replace it.
So it's not about AI taking over the role of the storyteller, but rather giving human storytellers new tools and insights to work with.
Exactly. He talks about how AI can help us understand our audiences better, tailor our stories to their needs, and even personalize the way those stories are delivered.
That's a really compelling point. It makes you wonder, what kind of amazing stories could we tell if we had that level of insight into our audience?
It's exciting to think about, isn't it? And it speaks to Ranganathan's optimism about the future. You know, he sees this as a collaboration between humans and AI, each bringing their unique strengths to the table.
You know, for someone who's so deeply involved in the world of AI, he really seems to understand the importance of the human touch. It's like he's saying, don't worry, writers and artists. Your jobs are safe. In fact, they might be more important than ever.
Absolutely. And that's what makes his vision so refreshing. He's not just a tech enthusiast blindly pushing for progress. He's a thinker, a humanist, someone who truly believes in the power of technology to enhance our lives.
And he's not afraid to tackle the ethical challenges head-on right. He talks quite a bit about the need for transparency, responsibility, and safeguards against potential misuse.
Right. He even goes so far as to invite people to join him in shaping this future, offering one-on-one mentorship to anyone interested in exploring the possibilities of AI.
That really struck me. It shows a genuine desire to collaborate and empower others, rather than just dictating from on high how this technology should be developed.
Yeah, it's like he's saying, look, this future is coming, whether we like it or not, so let's roll up our sleeves and make sure it's a future we can all be proud of.
He certainly painted a compelling picture of what that future could look like.
Aw.
I have to say, the more we delve into this tree of mirrors concept, the more excited I am about the possibilities.
Me too. It's a vision that's both ambitious and inspiring, challenging us to think beyond the hype and the fear surrounding AI and focus on its potential to truly improve our lives.
It feels like Ranganathan is not just predicting the future. He's actively trying to shape it in a positive and responsible way.
Absolutely. And, you know, one thing that really struck me is how he emphasizes the importance of individual empowerment. He sees this technology as a tool that can help us understand ourselves better, connect with each other on a deeper level, and create a more just and equitable world.
Yeah, it's a powerful message. And it's one that resonates deeply with me. It's like he's saying, we all have a role to play in shaping this future. Let's not leave it up to the algorithms to decide who we are and what we want.
Exactly. He's calling on us to be active participants in this technological revolution, to use our creativity, our compassion, and our values to guide the development of AI in a way that benefits all of humanity.
It's a call to action that I think we all need to hear, and it's one that I, for one, am ready to answer. But, you know, as much as we've talked about the potential benefits of this tree of mirrors, I can't help but wonder about the potential downsides as well.
That's a valid point. No technology is without its risks, and AI is no exception. I think it's important to acknowledge that there are valid concerns about privacy, security, and the potential for misuse.
Yeah, it feels like we're walking this tightrope. On one hand, we have this incredible potential for positive change. But on the other hand, there's this shadow as uncertainty, about what could go wrong.
It's a delicate balance for sure. And I think Ranganathan recognizes that. He doesn't shy away from the potential pitfalls. He actually dedicates a big chunk of the article to, discussing the importance of responsible AI development.
He really does. And it's refreshing to see someone in his position taking those concerns seriously.
Yeah.
He's not just saying, trust me, it'll all be fine. He's actively calling for, ethical guidelines, transparency, and safeguards against misuse.
Right. It's almost like he's saying, look, I'm excited about this technology, but I'm also aware of the potential dangers. We need to proceed with caution and make sure we're building a future that benefits everyone, not just a select few.
I like that. And he even uses the word empowerment, which is a powerful contrast to like the dystopian scenarios we often hear about AI.
Yeah.
Like he's saying this technology can be a force for good, but only if we use it wisely.
That's a great point. He's not advocating for some kind of technological free-for-all. He's calling for a thoughtful, ethical approach to AI development, one that prioritizes human values and well-being.
And I think that's what makes his vision so compelling. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about the kind of future we want to create. He's inviting us to be active participants in shaping that future to make sure it reflects our values and aspirations.
Yeah, and he even offers concrete steps we can take. Remember that part about one-on-one mentorship?
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's saying, I'm not just going to talk about this. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and help people get involved.
He's putting his money where his mouth is. You know what I mean? It's not just theoretical for him. He's genuinely committed to making this vision a reality, and he wants others to join him on the journey.
And it's not just about the technical aspects, He talks about the need for education dialogue and collaboration across disciplines. He sees this as a collective effort, one that requires input from ethicists, philosophers, artists, and everyday people.
Right. Like he's saying, this isn't just a tech issue, it's a human issue. We all need to be part of the conversation.
Exactly. And that's what makes Ranganathan such a fascinating figure. He's not just a brilliant technologist. He's a visionary thinker who understands that technology is only as good as the people who use it.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into Ranganathan's Tree of Mirrors, I think it's safe to say he's given us a lot to think about. It's a vision that's both exhilarating and a little bit daunting, full of potential, but also with, challenges.
Absolutely. But I think the most important takeaway is this. We're not just passive observers in this technological revolution. We have a choice in how this technology is developed and used. We have responsibility to make sure it serves humanity, not the other way around.
Ranganathan's article focuses primarily on marketing, but it's clear that his vision extends far beyond that. Imagine the implications of this Tree of Mirrors in fields like healthcare education, even self-discovery.
Yeah, what if we could use this technology to understand ourselves better, to connect with each other on a deeper level, to create a more just and equitable world?
The possibilities are truly mind-boggling. And as Ranganathan himself reminds us, it's up to us to make those possibilities a reality. So what do you think? Are you ready to step into this future and help shape it? That's something worth pondering as we leave you today on The Deep Dive.